Hey, this is Matt once again. What about sending out videos that are paid requests, this time for Jonathan? Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for June 9th, or June 9, that came out in 2008, which I had never heard of this film before. So I'm sitting there going, what kind of film is this? June 9? Just a very bland title for a movie. It's a found footage film. Now, I've said before, I'll say it again, found footage films do intrigue me. I don't know why. I think just because, even though by this point it is an old format, yet really it seems still new to me. Maybe, I can't explain it. I think just because it's a unique format that, in the best of times, puts me as the fourth or third, well, the member of this group or the point of view of these characters. So if I try to have this escapism that a lot of times you do with films, I'm trying to live vicariously through the eyes, in this case the lens of the camera, and try to experience what their experience, and hopefully have that entertaining experience, which is few and far in between because a lot of found footage. There are some found footage films I like. The Blair Witch Project, Cloverfield, Butterfly Kisses. There's one called They're Watching, the Sacrament. There are others I did like. Even fake documentaries, or a mix of the two, like The Tunnel, Savage Land, Population Zero. But there's a lot more bad ones. Now, of course, that's subjective. I can only say my subjective. So whether it be the Blackwater Vampire or Bigfoot County or Alien Origins or Unaware or like some of the worst, and some that are just really lame and boring, like this movie. Lame and boring and not much happening. It is on Tubi. On Tubi, free app, or you watch on your computer website that has a lot of movies for free. There are ads every once in a while. And they have a lot of lower budget movies and a lot of found footage movies as well. And this was boring as hell. Boring as shit. If you want to see, like, thankfully a lot of these found footage films, at least, number one, if they're bad, at least it gives me something to talk about. And number two, because they're either, for me, really fun gems like Fraudman, that came out recently. I thought that was pretty good for found footage. Or they're so boring and lame, at least it gives me something to psychically punch a hole through the soul of these fucking movies. And at least they're short. Hour and 20 some minutes usually is the case for a lot of these movies. Now, if you want to watch a movie where the hour and change is about 5 people who are supposed to be high school, they're supposed to be high schoolers. I'm like, they seem a bit older than high schoolers, but whatever. It's a movie. That do a lot of pranks. I just are very bored. They do a lot of pranks. And they're just being complete, utter dicks for over an hour. I'm like, I don't care what happens to these people. By the end, I'm like, they did what they deserve. Well, of course, if it's real life, it would be different. But this is a movie, and you watch it, and the back of your mind still think it's a movie, so you know this isn't really happening. And I'm like, these characters suck. They did what they deserve. Good on them. It takes place in 1999. For some reason, which I still don't know why, they have this opening and ending where it's shot like an actual film, someone watching a TV, and it bookends with pulling out of the TV and a guy sitting there going, why, I don't know. I don't know why this was even put in there. Because if you're trying to invoke the feeling of a found footage, this was found, then that breaks the illusion. If it's like, so You don't see the person's face, so you think, oh, it's going to be a twist. Who is this person? Is it someone within the group? And it was them all along. They were part of it. No. When it shows the person at the end, I'm like, who the hell is that guy? Have we ever seen him before? But yeah, so that it breaks that illusion of found footage. Then again, takes place in 1999, and it's just these people, five of them, three guys, two girls. The two douches, the nerdy douche, and the two girls. One of them is a bigger girl who will have like nosebleeds or will puke. And I thought there was going to be something to her, like something else going on, but no. The acting is substandard. I just really, all they have to do is act like dicks, and they were effective in that. They go to this town called Boston Mills, and they'll like find random people and give them wedgies. They'll litter. They'll walk around the fields. They go around town and they're messing with everybody. They film a couple having sex. They see hippies and they make fun of them. They'll have dialogue, like they see a bunch of weeds, they go, those weeds look like your mom's gnarled bush. And throughout it, they just keep doing these things where they sneak around places they shouldn't. They sneak in this place where there's all these religious statues, and they think someone's watching them and they run. They're breaking mailboxes. They're filming through windows and people are staring at them. They mark up the hippies' van. At one point later on, they flatten the tire of the van. They're even doing dares where they're breaking into homes and stealing their pillows. They go to one of the signs, the town signs, and spray paint Helltown. That's about like the first hour, and the only scares is that every once in a while they'll see someone staring at them. At one point they're at night in their van and they see like someone with a flashlight. They only see the flashlight coming towards them and they freak out. Before the third act, there's another nighttime where if they've entered someone's home, one of them has to steal a pillow, and they hear the people talking a weird language and this kid's wandering around. The guy freaks out, gets back to his buddies. They drive him in the van, and there's someone on the window going, and they drive off, and they're back home. And here's the thing, is that the people in this movie, not only are they so unlikable, and they're such dicks, they're so stupid too. Because every warning sign tells you, leave these people alone. Leave this whole town alone. You're like terrorists. You keep coming back. Again, it's like there's a bit where they have night vision on. They see a couple people out there staring at them, and one of the girls scream and runs. Again, there's a bit with the person with the flashlight coming towards them when they're in the van. There's a bit where someone's pounding on the window another night when they're in the van. When the one guy went in to steal the pillow, he looked over and he saw that they took pictures of our lead characters as if they've been following and taking pictures of them. Number one, I don't think he ever tells his friends about that. And number two, they're back at home in the third act, and the reason they go back is, the one lady lost her purse. Lost her fucking purse. That's why they go back. All of them go back. After all the stuff. Because this lady lost her purse. It's 1999. Okay, if it's your family, you're lost, tough titty. Shouldn't have been there. Your credit cards, cancel them. Your money, go to Dairy Queen or something, make more of it. Your license, get a new one. Nothing in that purse, family heirloom, well, tough titty. Things happen. And that's literally the first hour and change of the movie. That's literally it. The only other thing I can mention is that there's one actor I recognize. He's called the Stranger. He's a guy that when they're earlier on wandering around and one of them like throws a cup and this guy comes out looking like one of the, like clothes wise, one of the Amish, but clean shaven, got like a hat. Say, hey, how's you guys doing here, huh? Well, I mean, they don't really like when you're on the property. And then you see him briefly, he's sweeping his porch, looks at him and goes back in his house. Like, you see him later on. I recognize that actor. I guess he's a producer on this. And you see him a little bit at the end of the film. Is James L. Edwards. James L. Edwards, he was a guy that worked a lot with J.R. Bookwalter. J.R. Bookwalter was this filmmaker. Was it Ohio? J.R. Bookwalter did this film called The Dead Next Door. And a very low budget zombie film, but it made a little bit of a splash. You know, not great, but I had some fun with the film. And it's one of those movies where the lead character, I believe, is voiced by Bruce Campbell, but he's not credited. So it's a different guy, but if you listen to his voice, it's Bruce Campbell's voice. But anyway, James L. Edwards was like a little kid. He was like, I think, a zombie that gets shot. And we worked with J.R. Bookwalter a lot in the low budget films he did. So whether it be Ozone, he had a bit role in Ozone, which starred James Black, I believe. And James L. Edwards again had a bit part in Ozone. What was it? Polymorph. He has a decent. He was one of the stars of that movie. Bloodletting, which J.R. Bookwalter I think produced. He was like one of the stars of that movie. Bloodletting was trying to be like a wannabe Natural Born Killers. Not nearly as good. Which I'm not bitter on Natural Born Killers, but it's way better than that. He did a lot of those films, and a lot of like these low budget. They call it the six pack. As J.R. Bookwalter said, you need a six pack to watch them. So like. Galaxy of the something of the Galaxy of the Dinosaurs, something like that, and God, Zombie Cop, and God, there was another one that was like a revenge movie, Maximum Impact or something. These really shitty no budget films. Anyway, he worked a lot with J.R. Bookwalter. And I'm like, wait, that guy looks familiar. Oh my god, okay. It's a guy I've seen these other low-budget films. Wow. Been a while since I've seen him in like a... I can't say newer movie, which is 2008, but... That whole thing I just told you was the most I got out of this movie. It's not even really about the movie. It's about a guy that was in other movies. I'm going to spoil the ending. What happens, like I said, the one guy did a dare to steal the purse, comes back. They're in the van. It's very dark. Someone's pounding the window. They leave. The lady left her purse. They all decide to go back. They're in two separate vehicles. They have walkie-talkies. Three of them. They hear one of the other two and the other one warning them, screaming, and then they hear a little kid go, "It's done." Okay, if I don't care how many jokes the guy's played, if the guy's yelling and screaming, and you've seen what has happened before, and you hear a little kid going, "It's done," I'm going back home, I'm going to McDonald's, I'm getting it to go, I'm going back to my place, I'm going to think on the move, where to move, and get the hell out of Dodge as I'm eating my french fries. That's what I'm doing. I'm not going to keep going. Screw this lady's purse. Find another purse. Heirloom, whatever the reason, find another one. So they keep driving instead of going home or getting cops or whatever. So they stop somewhere. There's James L. Edwards, and the passenger seat guy gets killed. You just see, like, you see the from the back, and you get the idea he was stabbed in the neck, but you just hear gurgling sounds. The lady screaming. The driver's trying to get away. I guess the van flips, but you can't see anything because it's too cheap. They did dread off, and they did kill, but it comes off as more laughable. Because, like, a guy's getting hit by the rock, but it's as, like this. Like, they have to go slow so they don't really hurt the guy. And then the one girl, she's grabbed by her arms. She's not struggling. She's not scared. She's like... And then I guess they hit her in the head, like... Ah! It's like a sledgehammer, but it's like... Ah! Ah! It just very, very cheap and very... I guess if you watch through the end credits, you get the idea that the community has done this before to other outsiders, and they chopped the people up and maybe fed them to pigs. And they took the electronics and clothes and had them packed up, and the community are all into it, including the kids. Big surprise considering we heard a kid's voice from time to time, and how weird the people would stare and stuff. Again, you're sitting there going, these guys kind of deserve it. They deserve their fate. Just again and again and again, smashing mailboxes, just break into people's homes, littering. I'm like, sorry, sayonara. Would you do that in real life? Of course not. Again, it's a movie. You're looking at a movie and you're looking at characters that, of course, you know don't exist. Nothing in this movie made it seem like it was real. And like I said, that illusion broke at the beginning when they just do an actual film booked in. Anyway. And there's nothing creepy or scary. The little bit of gore at the end comes off as rather cheap. So, I guess if you have to see every found footage film ever made, which who knows, by this, maybe I'll be that guy. Maybe I'll be that guy. Please feel free to keep going for those out there who send requests. Maybe I have to be the guy. There's probably 1,000 more to go. Let's keep going. But... Jesus, man. Jesus. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye for now. Later.